Hello everyone, it is time for a Jeskai Control Legacy update because this weekend, when I'm recording this, I actually went top 8 twice with Jeskai Control in two relatively big Legacy tournaments. The first one was like 85 players, the second one was around 60-something players, and I went top 8 in both of them, losing both to the quarterfinals, which is unfortunate. The first one, it was against the worst matchup. In the second one, I made a small mistake that ended up costing me the quarterfinals. But in general, I was insanely happy with this build. And I think the deck is really, really good right now. And I want to quickly talk you through about the choices I've made, why I've made them, and why I think that this deck is good right now, specifically in Paper Magic. And then, of course, I'm going to play a league to showcase my decisions. But let's dive into this deck first, right? Before we get started with that, I just want to add some context. Currently, this is the Legacy meta. I'm recording this at January 27th. Could be important to note. And let's just look at the meta that we have right now. So we have the usual suspects. We have Stompy, Reanimator, Delver, Eldrazi, Oops All Spells, hovering down. You can see the usual like Painter, Cephalid. This is just generally the meta that we are expecting. Now, I've heard a lot on podcasts, on videos, etc. that Jeskai Control right now is unplayable, and I couldn't disagree more. Let me just explain to you why. Now, let me start by saying that the choices that I've made for my list are specifically for Paper Magic, and I cannot stress this enough. For Legacy specifically, the meta in Paper Magic is entirely different from the Magic Online meta. I think this is true specifically for Legacy, not so much in other formats, but I think mainly because the reason for this is that in Legacy we have a lot of potential combo decks, where other formats don't have as much combo decks, or at least not so many turn 1 all-in combo decks. And if there's one thing that people want to do when they are going to tournaments, it's they want to have fun and they want to play Magic. Do you know what I was expecting to see at the top decks of the format, or in general in the tournament? Like when I was going to these tournaments, I was expecting around 0 people playing Oops All Spells. Even though I think it's one of the best decks in the format, and no, if you look at the meta share, that seems to be true. However, people, when they play Paper Magic, they are there to have fun and they want to play as much Magic as possible. When you're playing Oops, the decisions that you have to make are condensed into your opening hand, right? You're going to play around 5 to 10 minutes of Magic, and that's usually including shuffling and sideboarding. People do not like this experience when they are playing in Paper Magic. This is important to note because in general, where combo is now, if you look at the meta, heavily prevalent, it's not true in Paper Magic. And this is the main reason why I think Jeskai Control is struggling, because combo has always been a bit difficult, but you do not have to respect as much combo as you need to do when you are playing online. For example, if I look at these tournaments, and they were in 2 different countries, by the way, if I saw 0 Oops players on both days, I saw 1 Sneak and Show player, and I saw 0 Doomsday. These are all 3 decks in the top 10 of the meta, right? They are all the combo decks that you see here in the meta, which is important because that means that Jeskai Control is a good choice if you are going to Paper Magic, because Jeskai is good against fair decks. The only deck that people want to play when they want to play a combo deck is UB Reanimator, but that's a deck that's relatively easy to hate out. Why is it a good combo deck? Because it can shift towards an aggro build, but that's something that Jeskai Control is very good at beating, so we have no issue. If they're going to go for the Delver plan, that's a good matchup. So, what's the deck that you have to be afraid of? That's basically Eldrazi, that's it. That is a tough matchup, that's true. But you will always have one tough matchup when you look at the top decks of the meta. There is not a single deck on this sheet here that has 0 bad matchups. Sure, you could argue that Delver, maybe, but they have around 50% like against everything. That's what we usually hear. But even then, they are bad against, or they struggle against Stompy decks. So they do have bad matchups as well. So this is my reasoning for for playing Jeskai. Like if you look at Cephalic Breakfast, that's another combo deck. I've adjusted my sideboard, as we will go over just a second, to show you that we can deal with all of this. I also saw 0 Eldrazi on the weekend, which is important because I actually played slightly different builds on Saturday and Sunday. So let me just dive into the build. Let's watch the Saturday build first. It's the first one as when I'm recording on MTG Goldfish right now. So things that I've done is I've gone back to 4 Narsets and another Days Undoing, because the format is a bit slower, so I like Days Undoing again as another win condition. I've cut back the basics to 1 in the main. I don't feel like it's the best card in the meta right now, but I am playing 2 Dress Downs, and they have been impressive. Let me tell you that. Dress Down is great right now, and I would recommend playing it. It's good against pretty much every single deck that we look at the meta, right? Stompy right now has so many enter-battlefield abilities, you can stop all of them. If Reanimator brings in a Traxa, Dress Down just makes it a 7/7, which you can sort. Irrelevant. Like, against Murktide it's good. Against Eldrazi, doesn't do a whole lot there, that's true. Like against Oops, it stops everything that they want to do. Against Painter, it's good. I can go on, but I think it's clear. Dress Down is very good right now. It even impressed me. Even though I was playing it, it still overperformed. Other things I'm looking towards is I was trying out 3 prismatic endings in this build, and the rest is pretty stock. I am playing 1, the Wandering Emperor. I wanted to increase the amount of win conditions that I had, but what I like about the Wandering Emperor is that it's both removal and the win condition, which is why I wanted to play it. And I also have a cool foil one that I won in the tournament. It's a Japanese one, so I like playing it. And I've cut down to 3 Temio, it's fine. I would love to play 4, but you have to cut spells somewhere. And then let's just look at the sideboard that I played on Saturday. I have completely disrespected Eldrazi, and let me explain the reasoning for this. If you have a meta of Eldrazi being 6%, which is the 4th most played deck, statistically, that is so low that if this is... you can do 1 or 2 things. You can either put like 4 to 6 cards in the sideboard, specifically for this matchup to beat this, which is something I've done in the past, like put 4 Consigns in and then also put like 2 Harbingers in, and then you will win the matchup, sure. But I didn't want to do that. I went for the other route. I made my deck so that it was good against everything except Eldrazi. And you know what I was going to do if I was facing Eldrazi? Probably lose, which is fine, because I was going to win all the rest. That was the idea, which is fine. You want to spike an event, you can take a loss, maybe even 2. Just be aware that this is the thing. And even the chances of you encountering Eldrazi are low, as we've seen. I've seen 0 Eldrazi this entire weekend. So that was the idea. So I just increased the odds against pretty much everything else. And it's not like I didn't have anything, like Back to Basics is good against them. But mainly what I want to do is I expect people, when they're playing Paper Magic, they want to play fair Magic. So especially in the region where I live, people play like Delver a lot, so many Delvers, like Reanimator stuff. The decks that I've seen the most were Dimmy Reanimator, Teamer Delver, and then we had Painters, and then we had Cephalid Breakfast and also Nadu. Those were the most played decks by far. There was so much Nadu, it's insane. This is also why I'm playing Damping Matrix. In fact, on Sunday I played 2 because I really love the card. It just shuts down the entire deck. It made me win a game single-handedly with this card in here. Let's go to the Sunday build because I do have some small changes there. For some reason, the Sunday list is on MTG Top8. Saturday build is on MTG Goldfish. Weird, but so be it. So the Sunday build, I made some small changes because I really missed having the 4th Prismatic Ending. So I've gone up on full 1 Prismatic Ending, and I cut down 1 Supreme Verdict. That's mainly because, as I said, everyone's playing fair decks, and they will make 1-drops, and you need to get rid of them. You need to go to the late game. The rest is pretty much the same in the main board. I did make some changes in the sideboard. On Saturday, I brought in the Hydroblasts 0 times, and whenever I brought them in, they weren't, well, I didn't bring them in 0 times, but I never was actually happy with them. So I felt like I could cut those, because again, Mono Red Stompy, it is played, but not as much as you can see here. This is not true in Paper Magic. This will not be the most played deck in Paper Play. Not at all. Even though it's the best deck, apparently, this is not representative of how many people will be playing this in paper tournaments. So I felt like I could play 2 Consigns instead of the Hydroblasts. I've already said I'm playing 2 Damping Matrix because this card just shuts down Nadu on its own, also Cephalid Breakfast, and it also has like issues against, or it has a good applicabilities against stuff like Painter. Really good card. Sure, it shuts down your own clue tokens, but who cares? You win the game because of it. So I was very happy with this. I was debating which list I should be playing today for this video, but looking back on this, I made changes from Saturday to Sunday because I felt like this was better, and I really love this build. I really do. I think this is what I will be moving forward, especially for paper play. I will be playing this list, maybe small changes depending on where I'm going. But again, I'm going to stress this. I built this list for paper play. Now, I'm going to play a league online with my deck tuned for paper magic, so I expect to lose matches against combo, and especially in leagues, there is a lot of combo flying around. It's not like we can't win the games, but I expect to lose probably against combo. If I was playing my list for online play, definitely have 2 Force Negations, and at this point I will probably also play a Spell Pierce, cutting stuff like, I guess, the Wandering Emperor, it's too expensive, probably cut Days Undoing, 1 Narset. That would probably be 1 Force Negation, 1 Spell Pierce, and then 1 other card. I'm not sure, maybe back to basics. But let's just dive in and see where we end up. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel if you are enjoying this content, and if you have any responses, feel free to put them in the video. I will add the links to the deck lists into the description, so check that out if you're interested in that. Well, this is a nice way to start things off. We are playing against Larsen, which is, well, the winner of European, what's it called? Eternal Weekend Europe. So we're going to have to play tight. Now, if I'm expecting them to play the breakfast deck, so this hand is fine, nothing more. It's too good to mulligan because I have 2 cantrips and Back to Basics. Back to Basics is really good against them, so I'm not unhappy. It will depend on how good this opening hand is, but it's pretty good against, you know, in general, every single deck out there. Now, they start off with a Swamp, so they will probably not be on breakfast, so that happens too, which is fine. I'm just gonna play this Flattered Strand here, and I'm gonna pass. Drawing Dress Down, really nice, because if I'm playing, like, I don't know, against any creature-based combo deck, Dress Down is really good. So let's just pass. Okay, Troll of Khazad-dûm. So if this is Reanimator, then well, we'll see. We'll just see what happens. Underground Sea, sure. I'm not going to do anything here. What I could do is I could go for Meticulous Archive, but I kind of want to be able to respond every single time. Like if they go for Entomb, I want to be able to brainstorm. I'm going to start with the island and pass. There we go. So I want to respond to the Entomb. The thing is, and this is difficult, do I want to... I have 2 options. I could go for Dress Down, keep and play for that. If I play for the Dress Down, I walk into Days, Force, pretty much everything. I think it's safe for me to brainstorm and be able to play around Days and dig for some like Force effect. That's the idea. Okay, so we do have Force Negation, which is nice. I'm going to put 2 lands back. I can't counter the Entomb, of course, because it's my turn. But if they try to reanimate, I can Force Negation now, and hopefully I'm able to then untap and be able to play Dress Down around potential Days. That's the idea. Okay, interesting. They went for Grizzlebrand, so they are not playing Atraxa. That's not good for us, because Atraxa is a lot less difficult for us to deal with than Grizzlebrand is. So we shall see what they have. If they have Thoughtseize here, then we're in trouble. So let's just Force Negation. I think I'm going to pitch the Back to Basics. Then again, now they have Grizzlebrand. Dress Down really doesn't do all that much against Grizzlebrand. I do have another one, but Back to Basics doesn't do anything on its own. I think I'm going to pitch the Back to Basics. And if they counter back here, I'm just going to concede, because them drawing 7 cards is just not something that I'm going to recoup. Okay, interestingly enough, my Force Negation worked, so they probably just have another one. Called it. They have Anime Dead. I'm going to concede. So we play a lot of Graveyard Hate specifically for this deck, so you bring it all in. Then usually what you do is after sideboarding, they bring in some number of like slower things, because they expect you to have the Graveyard Hate, so they will bring in like Orcish Bowmasters, etc. So we want to have Triumph, and we also want to have the Wrath of the Skies. I really don't like Back to Basics against this matchup. What we need to do is we need to survive. Now, Narset and Days Undoing is too slow. This is a combo deck, so we need to respect having them having the combo. Wandering Emperor is also too slow. So we want to take out all the slow stuff and bring in a bit of a, like, the faster stuff, right? I usually don't bring in too many Pyroblasts, because they have so many black spells that very often they are just dead cards. You can trim some number of prismatic endings. Maybe I shouldn't play the Wrath of the Skies, if I'm being honest. Probably just going to cut 1 Wrath and 1 prismatic ending. I feel like this is fine. Let's just submit the deck. So what you need to do is you need to not die the first 2 turns and you are fine. The thing is, I really want to have Graveyard Hate in my deck, but sometimes you just have to, try and work with the things that you've been dealt. Now, we do have Dress Down and Swords, so if we have a situation where we're able to bring back Grizzlebrand, we could Dress Down and then hopefully have the ability to Swords afterwards. So I do think I'm going to keep this. I think this hand's too good to mulligan, but generally, if the Reanimator deck has the nuts, where they have like discard spell into like turn 2 the win, it will become difficult, but they will not have that usually. And I think I've almost never lost this game against Reanimator, where if I had in my opening hand I had Graveyard Hate. If you can resolve it with Jeskai Control, turn 1 Graveyard Hate, it's very difficult for you to lose. Okay, they polluted Delta. Probably gonna brainstorm and then upkeep Lorien. Maybe I want to be able to Dress Down whenever. So in response to this Thoughtseize, I will definitely brainstorm. They can't daze, so we reveal the Triumph. That's funny. So what do I want to hide? I probably want to hide Dress Down and Swords. There we go. I put them like that. I don't really care what they take. They probably take Ponder. Okay, they just take the Ponder. That was to be expected. Let's just play Tundra and pass. Okay, we do get to untap with combination of Swords and Dress Down. That's always nice. I'm going to play the Flat Strand. Let's see what they fetch up. A basic. You can see why I brought out the back to basics, right? They want to draw and then discard. That's fine. Now they discard the Atraxa. So they are playing Atraxa even though they have Grizzlebrand. It's unusual, but I can understand. Let's see if they have counter magic for this. You can see why generally I really want to have discard or Graveyard Hate. If you have Graveyard Hate, again, there's not much you can. Well, you're not going to lose all that often. But now it's possible that we're going to lose. Now, fortunately, Atraxa is not that big of a deal because you can just Swords it in response to the trigger, and then it's not the end of the world. Don't get me wrong, I'd rather have it that they don't reanimate this, but I can still get rid of this. If they have Daze now, though, that means it's game over. They do have the Daze, so I will concede. So that's how you lose generally. You need to survive the first couple of turns, and if they have it, if they have everything, it's difficult for you to be able to come back from this unless you have Graveyard Hate. You really do need Graveyard Hate. So, yeah. Unlucky for us that we didn't find it. Maybe I should have mulliganed more aggressively, but I don't know. My opening hand was good, and they needed this exact situation where they were able to discard and have Force and have Daze and Reanimation spell. So it was asking a lot, but I guess that's what the deck does. Hand's really good, but it only has 1 plane, so I can't keep that. That's a mulligan. This is medium, but I'm going to keep because Tamiyo will draw me a bunch of cards. Let's get rid of the Sanctuary. Very often you don't even want to flip Tamiyo so soon. You just want to draw cards with this. Another deck I've seen a lot of people play in paper is Stiflenot, which I get because it's a really good deck, especially against the top of the format. But Stiflenot is a buy for Jeskai Control. It really is. Okay, so we played a Tamiyo, pass. They just concede. So what happened here is they brainstorm and they fail to find the land, and I'm going to take over the game from there, and I want to hide information. So if this happens, I think this is really smart for my opponent to do this, because I don't know a lot. I know Island, Flutter Strand, Ponder, Brainstorm, so I don't know a whole lot. My guess would be some kind of control deck. It could be, as I said, Stiflenot. My guess is a control deck. That's probably it. So what do you do in this situation where you don't have that much information? You rely on what you have. I'm definitely going to bring in Pyroblast for sure, because I've seen blue. So I'm sure about that. I've seen a basic, so I'm going to take out back the basics. And that's pretty much what I know right now. If I am playing against a control deck, removal is bad. Now, the thing is, against control decks, removal is bad. However, against Stiflenot, you really want to keep your removal. So it's difficult for me to do much more than this, because it could still be a different deck, right? It could, who knows, maybe be a combo deck, like, I don't know, Sneak and Show, possible. And they just didn't have anything. It's unlikely that they have an island, but it's difficult to know much more for sure, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to definitely bring in the Pyroblasts. What I do know is that both against Control and Stiflenot and combo decks like this, the One Ring Emperor is not that great. It's usually good against fair matchups, so I cut one of these. And then since I bring in 3 Pyroblasts, I'm inclined to just cut 1 Force Negation and play it like this. Okay, that's a lot of prismatic endings, but I have Brainstorm, so I'm going to keep. Okay, they fire off Fetch Land, Misty Rainforest into Ponder right now. Sure. They shuffle. Important for me to realize. Okay, so what I'm going to do, and this may be weird, but I am going to fetch, get an island, and pass. And that's mainly because if you look at my hand, if I am playing against Stiflenort, which is very possible, especially since the way this game is developing, I do not want my land getting stifled, because I would feel horrible, since I can play around it. I'm going to do that anyway next turn, and I do not have to worry about Wasteland if I get an island, so that's the idea. They Brainstorm. Are they just going to concede again? That would be hilarious. Okay, they did find the land. Good for them. Windswept Heath. Pyroblast. Let's Brainstorm. Okay, we did find the land. I think I'm going to trim definitely one prismatic ending, but then what else are we going to trim? I guess another prism. I really need to get a white source here, so I think I'm going to cut one of these Pyroblasts, because ideally I get a Plains here. I'm thinking about getting Meticulous Archive, so I have two views at the top card and just get rid of it unless it's a land. That's the idea. Meticulous Archive. Okay. So I think our analysis was correct. It's probably going to be Stiflenort. It could be the Mirror, but unlikely, especially since they are playing Windswept Heath. Then again, I'm not sure if Stiflenort usually plays Windswept Heath. Brainstorm. Ah, man. They shuffle with Ponder. I really want a Pyroblast here. I think I'm just... do I want to... It's so tempting. It really is. I'm playing against Stiflenort. They have days, but... I'm just going to do it. I have Ponder, so let's just fire off this Pyroblast here. Let's see if we do get maximum punishment. But this is too spicy to just not try and make it work. Yeah, it worked. Nice. Please don't play Wasteland. Okay. They play Flooded Strand. Sure. Tamio, I'm going to Ponder first. I'm just going to dig for a land. If it's not a land, I'm just going to shuffle. There we go. So I do not want Days Undoing. I doubt I want Prismatic Ending, but that's not bad if I am playing against Stiflenort. Played a Tamio. Unfortunately, I cannot get Meticulous Archive with this Prismatic Vista, but, I mean, I did find the land, so I can't complain, I guess. Edge Maze. Oh, okay, so that makes sense now. It's Nadu. Or Breakfast, same deck. I mean, it probably should have known with the Windswept Heath, if I'm being honest. Brainstorm, sure. Now I am really happy that I still have the Force. Teferi is really good in this matchup. So something that I really like to do is actually fetch in my upkeep, so you have mana up. So fetch in the upkeep. I'm gonna go for Plains. Dress down, that's not bad. I'm gonna slam in. And I will just try and resolve this Teferi. They would have dazed the Pyroblast if they had a daze, so I'm gonna slam in here. And if I resolve Teferi against this deck, I think it's looking really good. If I had a cantrip in here, I would probably just wait, but I don't think, just waiting until I draw a land or a cantrip and not developing my board is not an option here. And I think they need to fight up Teferi. It's too powerful to let resolve. Yeah, okay, so they don't have counter magic. I think I'm just gonna minus because I want to draw a land. Okay, we did find a land. Mountain's not ideal, but it's fine. We found the land. So next turn I could play Narset and have Prismatic Ending up with the Teferi uptick, which is sweet. Nomads. So, what I'm afraid of here is letting this resolve, and then they will play Cavern of Souls on Wizard. So I do think I'm going to force this one. But what do I pitch? I guess I pitch Narset, because I really love the combination of having Dress Down up with Prismatic Ending. Tamio's fine, I have ending for that. They don't play the Cavern of Souls, so maybe they didn't have it, but I didn't want to take any chances. So I'm feeling really good. Being able to untap here is nice. Also having the Brainstorm up, Tamio flipping is nice. I will definitely Brainstorm, and I want to ideally I will find another land so I can get a second plains. Because if that happens, I can't see us losing. I guess I shouldn't say that. You can always lose, especially against Cephalid Breakfast. It's a good deck. But we have a fine, well, I would say favored matchup against them, especially with my sideboard with Damping Matrix. If I had Narset, Days Undoing would be sweet, but I think I'm going to get rid of it now. Okay, we did find some good stuff. Play this. Play that. So they will try to attack. I just do not want them to have cards, so I'm going to get rid of this with Tamiya right now. Okay, that worked. I mean, of course, because I have to ferry. So usually I like fetching my upkeep, but what I want to do is I want to draw a card here. So I'm going to fetch first, use my Meticulous Archive. Okay, let's see what's on top. A land. I do not want another land, so I'm going to put that into the graveyard, and then I'm going to draw. You can see why I really love the Archive in the deck. And we draw Narset. That's that Archive really paying off here. Nice, very nice. And another Teferi. Okay, looking good, looking good. So do I want to have anything from the graveyard to stabilize for a while? Let's plus Teferi first before I forget. So the question here is, if I pick something back from the graveyard, I'm going for a longer game. If I go for plus, that's just 2 turns, and then I win. Now, I think I'm going to play Narset first, and then make that decision. Let's see what we find. Okay, Swords is really good. So I think I'm just going to take the Swords. And now that I have Swords and Prismatic Ending and Dress Down, I'm feeling safe. So I will plus Tamiyo. If I didn't find a Counter Magic or removal, I would have probably taken back Force of Will. Or maybe Pyroblast. Because keep in mind, Cavern of Souls is a thing. But right now, I just need 2 turns and I win. I always say that Tamiyo is a win condition, and sometimes people say that, no, technically it's not a win condition. I mean, yeah, man, whatever. The game's over. Like, okay, see the conceit, that's what I mean. If you draw the half of your deck, the game's over, right? So far, what did I tell you? Like, Cephalid Breakfast has played a lot. We have a good matchup against that. We lost against Reanimator, where they had the 2 very, very good hands, which is something that you can lose, and we didn't find our sideboard cards. So currently, this is going as expected. Okay, we're on the play, always nice. Let's see what's up. This hand is good. Let's keep. Why I really like Meticulous Archive in Jeskai is that you can just play a turn 1 and get value out of this. Now, since my opponent is mulliganing to 5, usually that means that they are either very unlucky if I'm playing a fair deck, or they're playing a combo deck. So I'm just going to ponder and look for hopefully another Force. That's usually, that's usually my reasoning, because if I ponder and I look for another Force and I end up playing against a fair deck, we should be okay if they are down to 5 cards. That's at least my reasoning. So let's ponder, see what's up. Boom, never didn't have it. Let's just put them like this. This is also cool because now next turn I can just play the Meticulous Archive to get rid of the 3rd card. Okay, so Thoughtseize. And that is exactly why I took the 2nd Force of Will, because if I'm playing as an all-in combo deck, they can just now go for it and I lose. So it's really great to have to see that my expectation here of what was going to happen turned out to be exactly true. That's just lovely. I love it when that happens. Oh wow, they end up taking Narset. That was unexpected. I was gonna play the Meticulous Archive, but I think I'm going to change that. I'm gonna play the Flooded Strand here because I probably want to end of turn Brainstorm. Sewers. Okay. Leave the card on top. Sure. So I'm brainstorming. Definitely putting the Meticulous Archive back. Probably also put back the Plains. And I think I now want to fetch for Meticulous Archive. Let's see what's on top. Another Force. I will take that. I think I'm just playing against a combo deck, so we will find one of our win cons. If I'm playing against a combo deck, it's really weird that my opponent took Narset, especially since they know that I have double Force. So it's possible that it's, I don't know, we'll see. Because I'm fine playing Draw Go all day. Tamiyo, let's just play it. Found my win con. Okay, so they brainstorm in response. So my guess is that they are digging for counter magic. Okay, fetch. Another brainstorm. Interesting. And it simply resolves. Okay, so they were clearly digging for counter magic. Or they could just also be looking for removal. So I don't think they have anything in the graveyard with right. So now the question is, do I care all that much about a 4/4? I think it's fine, but I will just use this Force Will. Since I have more counter magic, I'm okay with this. I'm not sure if they force back if I fight over it though. They play Wasteland, that's fine, I don't care. Okay, so they waste. I'm not even going to bother tapping land for mana. Lorien, let's slam in first. Just going to get an island here. Play the island and pass. They entomb, but that's something that we cannot have. Play the sewers. So if they reanimate the metamorphosis, that's really okay. They leave the card on top. Interesting. So probably entomb. Could also just be a reanimation spell. Okay, do we reanimate the metamorphosis? Okay. I'm just going to yield to the turn here. Let's fetch and draw a card with this clue token. Best draw would probably now be Teferi. Dress down. That's not bad. That's not bad. The land, let's slam in. I don't want Tamio to flip. I just want to draw as much cards as I can. Play the Delta. Okay. Lifelink is irrelevant. So let's draw. Back to basics. That's really bad. Lorien. Not drawing particularly hot. I think I want to have a... Probably want to have a Ponder here. So what I could do is fetch up an island, get Meticulous Archive, put the Ponder on top. Probably going to have to do that. Tamio flipping is also possible. It depends on what I find, I guess. Okay, so we get an island, we Lorien, get the Archive. I'm going to put the Ponder on top. So I'm not going to draw it now, because I'm not going to cast it, because then Tamio flips. I'm going to wait until the next turn, see what's up. And if I draw it now and they thought sees the Ponder away, I would feel really silly. I'm curious to see what they actually kept, because it seems unlikely that it's a land. Could be Force Will, I guess. That would make sense. Troll. Maybe they kept a Troll? They could reanimate Troll now. Let's see. So we have gone through... We've seen 20 cards. No Swords or Teferi or Wandering Emperor yet, so we are close. So what I'm going to do now is I'm probably just going to dress down here. Because I want to draw as much cards as I possibly can. So let's press down in response. And then draw with the clue token. So I know Ponder's on top, but potentially we could find a Force Will for with the clue token. And then I can actually just pitch the Back to Basics to the fourth if I find one. It's not a fourth, but it is Teferi. That's nice. I'm gonna yield to the turn here. I think I'm gonna Ponder first. See what's up. The Wandering Emperor is nice, but I don't have... Fortunately, I can't keep this because I don't have another plane, so I'm probably going to have to shuffle, because if I draw the Wandering Emperor, but I can't follow it up with an planes, that sucks. Well, things in the shuffle? Volcanic. Not the best draw. I do think I want to flip to Mio. So I'm just going to slam in first. I'm actually thinking about not playing the Teferi, because what I could do is I can actually exile the Animate Dead. That gets rid of the Troll. And that does mean that only the Metamorphosis survives. I like that. And then I can still draw. I think that's actually better. Okay, so that happens. Let's draw with the clue token. You find Prismatic Ending. I thought I shuffled you away. Anyway, Tamio's going to flip. And next turn we will have Teferi to bounce the Metamorphosis. Still no swords. Almost gone through half of my deck. I'm curious to see if they're going to attack me or Tamio. Yeah, they are going to attack the Tamio. Perfect. That's what it needs to do. It needs to not let me die. Another prismatic ending. Man, I shuffled him away. What's going on here? Anyway, let's try and resolve this Teferi. Gonna play the Volcanic because why not? Now let's hope that they didn't draw Force. Should have kept my mouth shut, right? But if they do have Force and they hardcast this, at least I have Back to Basics. That suddenly becomes a card. Buys me time. There we go. So I'm going to play the Back to Basics now. It's probably not going to be very impactful, but I think this is the best time to play this. And if I do draw Force myself, I can just hardcast it. So I guess they killed Tamio. Yes, indeed. I'm going to draw removal eventually, so it's fine. I also haven't seen a single Narset, which would be nice. Well, technically I have one in the graveyard, so I've seen one. And they drew Reanimate, so they are drawing hot, and I'm not as much drawing very well. Let's see what we find. Days Undoing. Yeah, that really does blow. I'm gonna have to. Yeah. I'm gonna have to play this Days Undoing, and yeah. see what happens, I guess. Let's just do it. Not where you want to be. Let's see what we find. And we don't even find anything. Wow, that was, yeah, I'm not gonna lie, that felt like a lot of bad luck piled on top of each other. Anyway, let's move to the next one. So again, we've discussed this. We bring in Graveyard Hate. Play the Triumph, you take out the slow stuff, so Back to Basics not that good. Cut 1 Days, 1 Narset. I'm actually going to cut 2 Prismatic Endings now. Okay, let's see what's up. Perfect. So this is the hand that you want to have. Turn 1, you want to have Graveyard Hate. And this is backed up by Force Will, so very nice indeed. I'm just going to start off with the Plains, why not? That resolves. Already feeling really good. Okay, they play land and pass. Very good. I'm going to play Tamio and pass. They fetch. Are they going to fight over this? I'll probably fight back. They brainstorm. Okay. If I would need to force, I'd probably pitch... don't want to, but I think I have to pitch Narset in case it does go wrong. If I keep the Narset, it's not great. If it fails... see, it resolves. Nice. Pass at the turn. They get rid of the troll. They get a swamp. Sure, looks like they don't have removal. Or they would have used it now. Or they want to play around Force Negation. Okay, so I'm going to slam in. I will just flip this to Mio if I can. The only thing I need to worry about now is Brazen Borrower, but they can't cast it. So I'm going to ponder, dig for a land, then just draw with Tamio. If they have removal in response, that's okay. I will fight over it though. I will just force. Do like that Triumph. So I'm going to draw from the pond and then from the clue. So I need to draw like this. Supreme Verdict is not bad. And now since I know that that Triumph is coming, if they would have removal for this Tamio flip, I'm just going to let it go. But they don't. Nice. So let's pass. They cycle another troll, that's fine. Dwarf Thief, Voidwalker, sure. They ponder, sure. So I'm going to reveal the Triumph, cast it. I do feel like playing 1 is correct. I've played 2 in the past in the sideboard, but I don't feel like you really want to have 2. 1 feels like the right number. Let's ponder. If they daze here, I don't really care. Supreme Verdict is a good pickup. I think I'm gonna take Force here and next turn take... I think I want to make land drops. I don't need Brainstorm straight away. So I think I'm gonna take Force now. Plains. Next turn? Yeah. Let's do that. Plus Tamio. And go. Okay, there we go. So this is what I was afraid of. But the thing is, since I have Supreme Verdict, I know that's coming. and they can only reanimate Troll. I'm actually just gonna let this one go. I know this is weird, but I think this is correct. Especially since I also have the Tamio already. Being able to board wipe is nice. They could reanimate again, sure, but so be it. So unfortunately, can't block that. Animate Dead. Now with Animate Dead, that does change things because I'm just going to Prismatic Ending that, and then I'm going to play Gravdigger's Cage again. I'm really okay with this. So ending that, they will just need to continue attacking Tamio every single turn, so not like I'm afraid of Dorothy Voidwalker. Plus this. Play that. Slam in with Triumph. Yep, they attack the Timio. Sure. They're going to be dead in 3 turns with this Triumph, so I'm okay with that. If it comes down to... I guess they just... next turn, they will want to flash in the Brazen Borrower, and then I guess I just... I board wipe. I could also play Narset now if I draw an island. That's not bad. Brainstorm. Let's plus first. Gonna slam in, see if they block. They do not. Let's brainstorm. What do we have here? I like Narset, but I think I'm going to get rid of 1 Force and 1 Narset. I should probably put them like this. I will just lure in immediately. Get an island. Usually this deck plays 2 Brazen Borrowers, so they will have a lot of difficulties getting rid of my Gravdigger's Cage now. They didn't flash in Brazen Borrower, so I guess that was a mistake. Gene Explosives on 1. Do I want to fight over this? I guess I do, because it gets rid of Cage, so I think I have to. Do I want to pitch Brainstorm? I think I do. I think Narset's better. Let's counter this. Yep, that works. Nice. Wasteland. Yeah, nice Wasteland. They were holding on to that for such a long time, is my guess. Indulgence, okay. The last Reanimator player was playing this card as well. This is a new edition. I actually have never seen this card in Reanimator before. So they discard 2. So discard 1, which is Polluted Delta. They do not attack. Okay, I'm going to plus... Why would they not attack? I'm trying to... I guess they want to block Triumph. That's the only reason I can think of. Are they going to double block Triumph? Because I'm okay with that. They can't block Triumph with Brazen Borrower, so... Bowmasters. I'm not even going to brainstorm in response. I'm going to say fine. So what I can do is I can just board wipe here. Yeah, I don't think I want to do that. Let's just play the Narset. They can't attack with Bowmasters. Let's play it like this. See what they do. Minus. We draw swords, which is nice. Because that does get rid of the Bowmasters. Not going to use it yet, though. Just going to keep it. This means that I can't ult with Tamio because they have Bowmasters. That's the main reason why they are playing it, but still, I have Supreme Verdict, so they attack with Bowmasters, so they clearly forgot about the trigger that Tamio is going to do. And they concede. Yeah, okay. They realize they made a mistake. Let's go to sideboarding. They're down to 7 minutes now, so another thing that I found is an issue when you compare paper play to online play is that even though I'm the control deck, I almost never lose because of time when I'm playing online. And I very often get into draw space when I'm playing in Paper Magic, not because of my own fault, because my opponents are playing slowly, which is frustrating. Do I want to change anything? Maybe on the draw I should swap 1 Wandering Emperor for 1 Wrath of the Skies. I think that's it. Let's submit. So no Force, no Graveyard Hate. That's always unfortunate. We've seen how you usually lose these games if you just get trampled over the first round. if you have turn 1 graveyard hate, I told you it's difficult to lose, and you saw why, right? Now I do have dress down, so I think what I'm just gonna keep. Now this could come back to haunt me if I was playing a real tournament. I would probably mulligan, but I think this is fine keeping. I also like trying stuff out. If I didn't have dress down, that would be definitely a mulligan, I guess. But also my opponent mulliganing to 6 is important. We'll see what they do. Start with an island. Ponder, sure. They shuffle, that's a good sign. This deck being the top deck of the format, alongside a couple of others, is another reason why I've started playing Dress Down again. Okay, this changes things. I will now play the Tamiyo. Hope that they daze. I'm kind of baiting out daze, I just need time. They don't do anything, so they don't have daze. Important for me to realize if they if it comes down to me needing to Dress Down. Now it's good that they have started with Island, because this means that they cannot Entomb Reanimate this turn. Play the Fist, pass. Slam in. I want to be able to swords if I need to. Bowmasters. Yeah. Not going to do anything now because I want to be able to dress down. And I can just end step. In their end step, I will swords the Bowmasters if I need to. Good prismatic ending. Probably better, but I could also just chill for a while, that's fine too. But I do want to start drawing cards. I guess it depends. If I draw a land, I'm fine waiting another turn, so I could potentially prismatic ending and have stuff up. Indulgence, sure. They discard the Metamorphosis. So definitely going to keep my swords up now. Teferi, that's not bad. So with the stuff that's in their graveyard, I think I just play Teferi and then plus. Definitely gonna slam in first. Since they Dress Down don't do all that much against Metamorphosis, and they don't have anything relevant in the graveyard. So I don't really need a Dress Down yet. I think I'm gonna Teferi here. Then again, it's dangerous. It is dangerous. I could also keep the Teferi, and if they bring back the Metamorphosis, then I have swords and Teferi, and maybe I should just prismatic ending the Orcish Bowmasters here. Could also Narset. That's also not bad. See what they do. But I think I want to get rid of their threats. The thing I'm most afraid of is what if they have Entomb and bring back a Traxat. I really want to have this Dress Down. So, I think if I'm going to play it safely, what I probably want to do is I just want to pass here. I guess in their unstep, swords, the Bowmasters, and then draw. So they probably reanimate the Fanatic, hoping to bring back the Troll as well. So that means Dress Down is going to be good. They put Thoughts in the graveyard. That's interesting. Okay, so they reanimate. So I'm going to Dress Down. They Brainstorm. Dig for Force of Will, I guess. They found a Force. So be it. So I guess that means I'm going to Swords the Metamorphosis. I could also Swords the Troll, but I think it's safer to Swords the Metamorphosis, I guess. Can I still play around Days is the question. Don't think I can. If I had a land, I could, but if I don't play Swords now and I fail to draw land, we're in trouble. So am I going to Swords the Troll or the Metamorphosis? I think it's safe to just Swords this one. Then again, if I get dazed now, I do realize that Teferi is going to resolve definitely, so that's good. Playing Teferi here and bouncing the Troll does mean that I'm unable, or the Teferi will die to the Bowmasters, so draw land. Maybe I should wait. What I can do is I can ending the Bowmasters. Guess it's too risky, right? I should probably just play Teferi. Do I want to... difficult. Yeah, let's play Teferi. I think that's the safest play. It will die, but it has done its job. We draw Flooded Strand. Nice. So that means I can get rid of Bowmasters as well. I could wait to play Wrath of the Skies, but I don't want to blow up my clue tokens. Oh, right, I've already played a land, so can't play Strand just yet. But it's okay. I'm just going to slam in. I'm fine taking 3. Okay, so they just slam in and pass. Like they are stuck with that troll in hand. 4th. Okay, good to finish the game, but let's start by getting rid of this Bowmasters. Looks like they have another one. Or they're just going to counter, which is okay, honestly. So I know the other card is Troll, so I'm just going to fetch. And the question is, do I want to 4th? Probably not, as long as they have Bowmasters. So I'm just going to get lanes here. Play Narset. I'm not going to attack with Timio now. I want to block the Troll. The Orc, sorry. I don't want them to be able to actually kill Narset. Picking up swords is really nice, because that means I can get rid of the Troll that they can now hardcast. Okay, block the token. This Rathalos guy is interesting because I really do want to be able to cast it, but that Bowmasters though, I could see myself using it soon though. There we have the Troll, the Ferry. That's a good pickup. I guess that's game. Let's start by swordsing. What do I want to swords? I guess Bowmasters. Was that even possible? No, I'm probably just swords the Troll, really. Get that out of the way. Play Teferi. Bounce the Bowmasters. Draw. Okay, so that's what I was hoping for. Ponder. So that will flip. Excellent. So next turn I can Wrath. Curious to see what they're gonna kill. I guess they killed Teferi. Yes, indeed. Now they probably killed a Narset. Then I'm going to draw a couple of cards, wipe the board, follow up hopefully with next turn 4th Lingus. Okay, so could also minus. I think I'm going to bring back the swords here. Get rid of the Bowmasters. Draw. Okay, excellent. Draw. And pass. Just setting up for next turn. The idea here is that I want to be able to, if I Wrath of Disguise, it doesn't do all that much for me. I just get to the Orc. I just want to kill them with 4th Lingus, really. That's the idea. Entomb, do I care? I guess I do. I think I have to counter this. Pitch Lorien or Brainstorm? I guess Lorien. And the City Sewers. That's fine. So I'm just going to 4th for everything. Keep 2 tokens back. They put 1 card on top, so that's interesting. They kill Timio now, is my guess. They try and kill me. Okay, aggressive. Play the island. Get mountain. So I'm going to play a bit faster. Time is an issue here, so I just played 4th for everything. Keep 2 tokens back, plus Timio and pass. See what my opponent does. I'm going to yield through the turn here. Don't want to lose because of time restrictions, because I'm recording a video, so I'm playing a lot slower than usual. I guess they just slam in here. I'm going to block the Orc Army token if they do. And I'm probably just going to bring back 4th Lingus and try and kill them. So they slam in. I'm going to double block here. There we go. They're going to Petty Theft the Timio. That's interesting. I was not expecting that, not going to lie. So they probably want to kill me with the Brazen Borrower. Minus with the Narset. I'm just going to dig for removal here, or force. None of those, so that's a shuffle. A ponder. If I fail to find anything like this, I'm going to feel sad. We find Flooded. That does the trick, so I'm going to play it. There we go. Get Sanctuary. Target swords. Yes, indeed. I got some top. I'm going to draw it with the Monarch. Yes. Play it to Mio. And I'm just going to slam it in. So as expected, they played a Brazen Borrower. I'm going to get rid of it. And they concede. Nice. So they didn't draw anything. Cool game, really interesting game. Even though we didn't find a single graveyard hate, we still were able to win here. As I said, like for me in this round, game 2 said it all. If you have one piece of graveyard hate, it becomes an easy matchup. The only thing you should be afraid of is the graveyard stuff. And if it becomes a fair matchup, you are well set up to deal with anything that they could do. So sweet, next round. So what do we have here? I'm gonna draw, but this hand is not good at all. Too many 3-drops. This is a mulligan. Yeah, that's better. I'm gonna keep getting rid of Supreme Verdict. It's too expensive, and I have double swords, so this is okay. Looks like we're playing against Delver. No 1-drop. I mean, okay, that's good. Brainstorm. So I'm gonna play the Strand, pass. They brainstorm end of turn. You don't see that very often. Okay, I guess. I may have to fetch up a Tundra and feel awful about it, but so be it. Okay, never mind. Now that they have shown me the brainstorm, the wasteland, sorry. No can do. Luckily I do have brainstorm. There we go, that's good. So what do we do here? Do we brainstorm first or Meticulous Archive first? I refuse to walk into days when I'm playing Jeskai, so I may have to play the mountain and then get a brainstorm. Because if I Meticulous Archive, they will definitely just wasteland this. You know what I'm going to do? I'm actually going to bait out a daze. So I'm going to play the mountain. I'm going to fetch up an island. And then in the upkeep, I'm going to dress down. Because they have definitely put an instant or a sorcery on top. And if they daze dress down, it's fine. Because I don't really care and it puts them back a land. I think I'm okay with that exchange. So I'm going to put them like that. Okay, so response to this. I do this now because sometimes people make mistakes and they still show me the card even though the ability of Delver's gone. It happens. If they had a fetch land, this would be different if they hadn't brainstormed already, because now they know the card that's on top. So also will draw. Not bad, I guess. Okay, they slam in for 1, sure. Okay, no land drop, that's good. Brainstorm first. See what's up. Since they're missing land drops, this back to basics could be really good. I'm just definitely going to play removal spell this turn. So I'm just thinking about what to put back. I really don't like Force Will against Delver, so that one goes. And I guess 1 Narset. Think I need more removal spells. Yeah, let's do that. I don't think they have days. My guess is that they would have fought over the dress down. Could be wrong, but another wasteland. So that's that kind of hand you are keeping. Not going to work against me. So I am just going to play this archive. If they wasteland this, that's fine. Dress down. I want lands. I'm going to get rid of that. And I'm just going to fire off 4th here. Because whatever. If they force here or daze, that's okay. If they use bolt, that's also fine. I just want them to use their resources that they have in hand and make them useless. They bolts. Okay. As expected, they also wasteland the archive. Sure. I guess it's time. If I don't draw anything, I'm just going to slam down back to basics. See what they do. They found a daze. That's okay. Don't get me wrong. Back to basics is nice against Delver, but you don't really need it. I'm just making them use their resources here. I have so many swords that I'm fine. As soon as I draw land, I can resolve this Narset. We should be well set up. Wow. This hand. This is worth a screenshot right there. Jeskai versus Delver. Nice. Okay, let's just play it. I could see them fighting over this. Okay, resolve. So I guess they're just going to bolt. Or they don't want to use Force Will on this, which does make sense. It's so painful if you have to Force Will a Timeo. Let's brainstorm. Shuffle. Okay. Oh, we're playing against Grixis Delver. Interesting. I think Blue-Red Delver is a lot better than Grixis is right now. People have learned to play against Bowmasters, and it's... You will not catch people off guard anymore with Bowmasters, so... I think at this point I'm just going to get rid of anything that they might have. Hoping that they use counter magic on this. think what they want to do is they want to catch me off guard by having a Bowmasters in response to me clacking a clue, sorry. We'll see, but snuff out. Sure. I'm gonna ponder. I'm fine taking 1 damage from the Bowmasters if it means I find a land. And I'm gonna try and swords the Bowmasters if they have it. I have more than enough swords here to go around, so well, that was unexpected. So I'm going to swords. That works. Okay, let's find a land here. Force. Not gonna take the force. Don't think I want another land though, so I'm gonna take the Feaster. Put a stop in the upkeep. Maybe. It's possible I might have to swords and Murktide here, so I may draw land so I can have an island up and be able to. There we go. So I am going to draw the island now, so I have the potential of being able to have double planes, so I can double swords. That's the idea. Okay, so play the island. That's swords straight away. Really hoping that they force this one, because that would mean they are empty-handed. Brainstorm. Yeah, they're digging. They are digging for their force will. Okay, they don't have it. Let's play Narset. They fetch. Probably means they have another Brainstorm in hand. They're going to cast it now. That would be my guess. Called it. I want to keep my fetch land if I can, so this is just minus. So this is why I wanted to keep my fetch land, because if there was a Brainstorm in here, I can get rid of some bad cards if I find some. I guess they just attack Narset here. I will just Brainstorm. If they have another Bowmasters, I will swords. Okay, so Ponder resolves, but they will not draw. They will just put cards back on top. Always a good sign when that happens. Delver, I may swords that. We shall see. If they have Murktide, of course, that is the target. Looks like they do. A lot of threats here. Supreme Verdict, well, that was a good draw. That's pretty much perfect. I'm not going to complain. So I'm going to fetch, get my island, and they may just concede. Get my planes, sorry, what am I talking about? Bye. And they concede. Yeah, that makes sense. They were not coming back from that. So I'm sure you've seen by now Delver, really good matchup. So you bring in the Pyroblasts. Then you play Triumph, Rest in Peace, also very good against them. And in general, I just don't like forces. They are pretty bad. Also, Days Undoing is okay, nothing more. I just like cutting the forces here and swapping them for Pyroblast. You saw me shuffling away Force Wills because they are that bad. And then what I like doing is, the rest is all personal preference. You could potentially play some more Back to Basics, but I'm fine playing one. One Wrath of the Skies is also okay, but not extremely important. What I like doing is cutting one Narset because it's a 3-drop and playing one Wrath of the Skies, just have more removal. And I think one Back to Basics is okay. Sometimes, I swap this around a bit. I could see myself cutting also the Days Undoing for another Back to Basics. It's all fine. It's personal preference and depending on the game that you want to play. Hand's okay. Having these double duels is unfortunate, but I'm probably just going to start with Chandra, play it, hope that they wasteland this, and then I'm going to Lorien, get an island, and be okay. That's the idea. Dragon's Rage. Okay. My opponent did mulligan to 5. That's interesting. Let's just play the Tundra, see if they have the Wasteland. Looks like they are firing off with Island. Yeah, they will have a 3/3 very, very soon. So I'm going to, I'm going to have to be aggressive here. Okay, this does change things. So now I'm going to Brainstorm in the end step, because in my upkeep I can Lorien. Let's see what they have. Don't think I need a 4th here, and 2 Teferi is normally not that good, but the way the game is setting up, if I can just slam down Teferi turn 3, see if they have anything, if they get rid of it, play another one. Don't hate that. Maybe I don't want the Meticulous Archive though. Yeah, let's put this one back. Okay, upkeep Lorien. And I'm just going to play Tamio. Okay, they look at the cards on top. Why would they do this in response to me Loriening? Because now I'm going to shuffle. So they see the card on top and then I shuffle. That does not make any sense. Anyway, or did they target themselves? If they target themselves, I didn't see. Anyway, let's Lorien here. Island. I think I'm going to play the TOP8'd. If they had Wasteland, they would have played it, so they probably just they took a look at their own card. That would be my guess. Especially since they drew first. They real bolt. That's okay. So they're going to bolt the TOP8'd. I'm just going to yield to the turn. Put Bowmasters into the graveyard. That does make sense. Bolt TOP8'd. Called it. And I'm going to bounce. Probably... Doesn't really matter. I guess Darcy. That's the most scary one. So I just need to find a removal spell and we're good. Bauble. If I find a removal spell, I probably play it and TOP8'd. That's the idea. It's not a removal spell. Let's play Teferi. What I love here about playing the Teferi is they need to attack this. So they can't let it happen, which is really nice. I'm going to draw Catherine. Oh, that's painful. Worst timing ever to draw the Catherine. So be it. Another Bauble, sure. So they probably play Darcy, kill Teferi. I'm going to play another Teferi and play TOP8'd. That's the idea. No, I'm just going to buy me some time. Oh, they're attacking me. Wow, that's unexpected to say the least. So I guess I ponder first, see what's up. Just want to find removal now. Okay. So with this very weird setup of events, what are we gonna do? I think I play... This one gets a plains. I think I kill Darcy. Play the TOP8'd. Really want to slam down this back to basics now, but I need to be safe before I do that. Attack me. Yeah, I'm not gonna block yet. I think I can chill one more turn. Play Darcy. Sure. Pretty much just looking for removal spells here. Removal, please. If I do find removal, probably just play it and then play back to basics. Rest in peace. It's like semi-removal for Darcy. So what I could do is, I guess I'm gonna play plus here. Play the Teferi. I'm gonna keep this one, of course. Gonna bounce Delver. Hope to draw land. Ah, nice. So now I'm going to play Rest in Peace. There we go. And TOP8'd's on blocking duty now. I guess next time I just play Triumph. We'll see. Bowmasters. That's okay, because I'm going to play Triumph next turn. They will kill Teferi, but okay. Maybe I should play back to basics first. Let's see, what did I find? Only one sword so far. So if I play back to basics and it resolves, they will just attack with everything. Just going to play the Triumph and pass. Delver. Sure. Another one. That's scary. Okay, so let's draw some removal spells. Board wipe would be nice. Let's play the Narset. Minus. Haven't seen a lot of removal spells. Supreme Verdict. The question is, do I have the luxury of having the Supreme Verdict? Because if I slam in with Triumph, I'm going to go to 10. I'm going to take 3, 6, 7, 8, 9. It flips. I could block 1 Delver and then Verdict next turn. If I do that, that means... So I'm going to slam with Triumph. Means I'm going to go to 10. If these guys flip, that means I can block 1 and I'm going to take 3, 4, 5, 6. That means I am out of Lightning Bolt range, so maybe it's just best for me to actually play Verdict. What else am I gonna do, right? Yeah, I think that's the best thing to do. Let's just play it, take it. Done. So I'm in. They just take the hit. Sure. They pondered, so I think they're gonna flip. They reveal ponder, that's okay. They can't draw, so they do get rid of the ponder, that's interesting. You know what would be devastating now? A freaking wasteland. That would be... Okay, so what's really good here is that the fact that I can attack with Triumph first, and then board wipe. That's nice. Counterbalance. I mean, there's no way they actually put a Supreme Verdict as 4, that they have a 4-drop on top, so I'm okay with that. Does the deck even have 4-drops? I don't think so, honestly. Yeah, they bolt me. That makes sense. As I said, I'm out of lightning bolt range, which is very important. Oh, they want to bolt. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. I mean, I get why they do that. Let's play the island. So since they fetched, they do not know what's on top, so I will just play this 1-drop. But let's Supreme Verdict first. Come on, reveal. Also, it can't be counted, so revealing would not make any sense. They just concede. Okay, yeah, not coming back from that. Nice. So, Delver. What can I say? Good matchup, as we saw. It can be difficult if they have a lot of very early threats, but you have, like, after sideboard, I have, like, 10 removal spells that just get rid of the no, even more. Like, if you count 4 swords, 4 prismatic endings, 3 pyroblasts, you have so many removal spells. You have more removal spells than they have threats, so that's why, of course, it's a good matchup. All right, again, running pretty hot. So, as I said, every single fair matchup that I've played won fairly easily, I'd say. And the first matchup that we lost against Reanimator is another one that you can win, because we did win it match number 3. Let's go to the last one. Right, what do we have here? That's fine. I mean, it's fine. We have a lot of cantrips, we have land, so we should probably keep this. If it was a fast combo deck, we lose, but sure. Let's just fetch, get an island, ponder. Guess I take force. In case we are playing against a combo deck. Nope. Pass. Is this another Reanimator? I mean, said before, it's definitely more popular than the Stompy decks, etc. It's very clear that people like playing Magic and they want to play Delver-esque decks or stuff like that. Fair Magic, that's it. I think I'm actually just going to do nothing here. I'm just going to pass after playing the land. Strix does signal to me that this is some kind of a control deck. Grixis Control, maybe. Especially with Bloodstained Mire, that signals control for sure. I think I am just going to draw the land, honestly. So now we ponder. See what's on top. Narset's really good. A lot of cantrips. Gonna take the Narset, and I also want the Brainstorm, so let's see if I can resolve Narset next turn. The fact that we have Supreme Verdict is also pretty nice. Knowing that if I have to remove some stuff, it's always gonna happen. Brainstorm, sure. Fetch gets sewers. Back the basics are also really good in this matchup. But they found their basics, so not as much. Ponder, sure. Card I'm most afraid of in this matchup is probably Kaito. If they can flash that in, we could be in trouble. Okay, so let's get some lands here. We will get an island, and this will be a plains. And we will play Narset. Curious to see if they're going to fight over this. They just let it resolve and do nothing. That's interesting. I guess they have bolts. That would be my guess. But that's okay. Yep, called it. So they bolted the Narset, but Narset replaces itself. So that's a net gain for me. And I'm just going to draw another Narset. That's cool. That's really nice. I will not take the swords. I've already discussed Kaito, but usually just a one-of in the deck, so... Of course they have it. Should have kept my mouth shut. Okay, nothing I can do about it. So I probably now go for the white-blue land. Surveyor land. Wandering Emperor would be really good. Let's see, Narset. I don't want Narset. I already have one of those, so let's put it away. Draw. Lorien. Let's play the Narset. Force. Of course, I'm going to force back. It resolves. Let's see what we find. Teferi is good. They will kill Narset with Kaito, so I'm not going to take the Days Undoing. I will take Teferi. And I'm going to try and set up a turn where I can plus Teferi, then Supreme Verdict at a certain point. Let's ponder. Should I Lorien first? I don't think so. Let's ponder. Next turn I could Tamio and Brainstorm. It's not bad. And have Teferi. That's nice. Guess that's good. So let's take the Tamio. I'm actually gonna play the Sanctuary now. I'm gonna take the Force. Play Tamio. They probably have removal, but I want them to use cards that they have in their hand. No removal spell, that's unexpected. They put stun counters on Tamio. I mean, that's okay. So they probably killed Narset here. Indeed. They play their own Narset. That's okay. They have a Force. Well, best be prepared to use it, I guess. So I'm going to Narset. Sorry, Teferi. Force. What am I gonna pitch? I guess I pitch Brainstorm. Let's see if they have double Force. They do not. They do. Let's think. So I need to draw exactly 4th Elingus here, and then I can come back from this. Let's just yield. As I said, usually this matchup is pretty good, but the only card I'm really afraid of is Kaito, because no, it has hexproof in your turn, which is annoying. Apart from that, it's okay. They get Edict, they ponder. Sure, man, you got it all. What do we have? Swords. It's not going to cut it, right? I'm going to concede. These games do tend to go long, so I don't want to waste any time. Sideboarding relatively easy. Pyroblast really good, so it's back to basics. And I also bring in 1 Triumph because I usually board out removal spells for what you are going to try and do. Your removal spells are bad as well, so I don't really like Verdict. And I don't really like Endings. Usually I just keep swords, some number of them, usually like 3. But since I'm playing Dress Down, that's probably worse. Then again, in this matchup, if I have to Dress Down, what I can do is I can actually... nah, never mind. I guess I'm just playing like this. Play Ending, play your swords. I have Pyroblast, so I'm good. Let's play like this. Yeah, I'm gonna keep. Not an excellent hand, but it's always nice to have Tamio turn 1, especially after sideboard, because they take out so much removal spells against you. Then it's really nice to be able to start with Tamio. If you draw 1 card out of this, you've already gained advantage. Let's see if they've kept some removal spells in. They thought seize me. That's okay. My hand was just relying on Tamio anyway, so that's actually fine. My hand's not that impactful. I guess they just take swords, right? Doesn't really matter. They take Days Undoing. That's just, that speaks to the power of my hand, because that Days Undoing is worthless unless I draw exactly Narset. So I don't know. They do not care about swords at all. Pyroblast is a really good draw though. Brainstorm. I'm gonna Pyroblast that. Pretty cool being able to do that now. They bolt, sure. Teferi is a good draw here. I will just minus immediately. Get advantage when I can. Narset, good draw. This is the thing where usually against Grixis Control, right? Your cards are just so good against them, they are much more impactful. Except Kaito. Okay, they start off with a Ponder. That is okay. Shuffle. Draw. Bolts. Teferis. Okay, that's all good. It's curious that they kept in so many lightning bolts. I mean, so many. It's only 2, but I don't know. It feels like it's not a good card against us. Sure, it does get rid of the planeswalkers, but they all replace themselves. So I'm gonna take the brainstorm here. Say done. Pass. I guess they probably kept 2 or 3, which does make sense. Cut like fatal pushes and stuff like that. Sewers, leave it on top. Okay. Gonna Narset. Gonna dig for back to basics. That would be sweet. Drawing another one, as you do. I guess we take Pyroblast. Say done. Gonna play another one. Value. Go keep this one. Do it again. Wandering Emperor is nice, but I prefer 4th Olingus at this spot since I don't have double planes. Otherwise, Wandering Emperor would probably be better. Dodges both blasts. Elegance Command. What do we discard? Probably swords, honestly. Let's start by island cycling. I think I'm just going to get a Tundra at this point. If I do find back the basics, I can actually just still play it. Let's 4th. This is 2. They force. That's okay. Perfectly fine exchange for me. I'm going to bring it back with any land now. Is just 4th Olingus. This is why I got to Tundra. Bowmasters. That's a good top deck right there. Killing Narset. Draw. Well, okay. That's even better. So kill the Bowmasters. 4th. Sure, if they have removal now for 1 night, that sucks. But, I mean, they need to have it. Let's draw. Another Pyroblast. Not bad. I mean, we win the game, yeah. Let's go to the next one. Alright, let's see if we can finish up nicely. I'm going to keep this one. I do have Ponder. Back to basics is nice. Have a lot of good cards in here. Days and Doing not great. Wandering Emperor is a bit expensive, but apart from that, hand's fine. We're going to start with Thoughtseize, which is okay. I'm not sure what they should take. I'm going to be honest. I have no idea. I guess Ponder. If they take Ponder, I don't really care all that much. If they have, I could also see them taking back the basics, depending on their hand. Wandering Emperor. Wow, they are clearly aiming for the late game because that was not a card that I was expecting them to take for sure. Let's Ponder. Force Will. Yeah, I'm gonna take it. Mainly because I expect to probably pitch. I expect this back to basics could be really good, and if I can then go all in on that, would be nice. Baleful Strix is fine. Just gonna play a land and pass. Damage. Ponder, sure. This Ponder on its own is already good enough for me to play the back to basics. No Ponder, another Swamp. Double Swamp is fine. I can cut him off a blue and red at the same time. That's nice. Narset 2, nice. Let's start by back to basics. Expect force. I force back. They have nothing. Okay. That's a really good sign. Bowmasters. I'm actually gonna... I should not fight over this, right? Let's just say okay. I have Narset, so I will find removal. Okay, well, at least I can pitch it to force. I'll take the Narset, because my expectation is that they will kill the other Narset. And it makes me find more removal. Well, not more, but makes me find removal. Okay, so they are clearly missing land drops. They are all in on this plan right here. Which is okay. They do kill the Narset, as expected. Luckily, I have another one. Tamio, that's pretty good. I'm going to... do I want to... Yeah, I want to play Narset. Looking for removal. I just need to get rid of this Bowmasters, really. Nice. That's what we are looking for. Done. Let's think. Do I want to play Tamio as well? I think I do, because that means play Tamio here. I can just play it, kill the Bowmasters, block something, and then if I just play the Days Undoing, I win on the spot. Well, yeah. I mean, technically it's not a game over, blah, 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 I get that, but it's just good enough to win the game. I don't care that Volcanic will not untap. I'm gonna Swords now. They can always Bowmasters at instant speed, so it doesn't really net gain me anything. Let's do that. Going to block this. Yeah, I'm just going to go for it. I should probably attack with Tamio first. Although then again, what if my Days Undoing fails? I think I'm going to keep it back. Let's just do this. Now I really wish that I still had red, because then I would have been able to Pyroblast. Okay, so it just works, and they do not concede. That's always cool, but I think the game's over. Yeah, okay, that was it. Wow, I mean, as I said before, it's lovely that this league went 100% as I talked you guys through how I expected these games would go. We have been playing against a lot of fair decks, and against fair decks, this deck is heavily, heavily favored, as we've seen. We pretty much crushed everything. We only lost against Reanimator, where we, maybe I should have mulliganed a bit more aggressively, but we also won against the same deck. So just to show you that I think this deck is excellent. It's great, very good choice. It has issues against certain combo decks and Eldrazi specifically, but especially in paper play, you will not see those decks as much. Yeah, thanks for watching, and I hope to see you for our next video. Bye!